So thanks so much for clicking on my Nearpod how-to video. This is just a quick start guide. If you are unfamiliar with Nearpod and you're wondering what is it, how can I get started right away, that's what this is for. I'm going to show you the most simple way to get started with Nearpod. So let's go. If you did not know how to create an account, I did send out an email with the instructions, but if you have any trouble, just let me know. I'd be happy to walk you through it. It should be very simple as providing an email address and creating a password. Now, the easiest way to get started is simply by coming over here to the house. That's your home button. And my home page will look pretty busy. That's because I've used Nearpod now for a few years. I absolutely love it. So I have a lot of lessons saved. But if this is your first time, there's a few different ways you could search for a lesson. I recommend coming right here to the Nearpod lesson library and see what has already been created for you. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So if you click the Nearpod lesson library on the menu here on the left-hand side, you'll see that there are a lot of different categories and subjects. You can go ahead and use the filters if you like. You can filter by grade level if you like. But what I find to be most effective is just coming up here to the search box. For example, if I'm a second grade teacher and I'm looking for a great lesson on life cycles, I'll just search that keyword. As you can see already, there are many life cycle lessons ready to go. So for example, I want to take a look at this lesson to see if I like it for my students. All you have to do is hover over top, just like I did, choose Preview Lesson, and then you can browse it to see if it's something you would like to use. And all you have to do is click the preview arrows, and it will bring you through the pre-created lesson. Now, you could make your own from scratch. You could save this lesson and add your own slides, add your own activities. And there are just so many activities you can add. You can add a poll like what you're seeing right now. You can add games. You can add 3D models. You can add virtual field trips. You can add YouTube videos, draw it slides, just so many things you can add to your content. But right now, my purpose is just to give you a quick tour. As you see here, the pre-created slides, they're great, high interest slides. So maybe you're loving what you see. Here we have a short answer question. If I come a little further, I believe there is a sway embedded in this. Oh, and a drawing activity. This is definitely a winner with your students. They can go ahead and draw out the parts of a frog's life cycle and submit their response. That's kind of an ugly frog. Here's a nice fill in the blank activity. By the way, you will be able to see the results of every one of these embedded activities when your students complete the lesson. You'll be able to see every individual answer they submit. The reports are absolutely fantastic. So let's just say you love this lesson and you'd like to send it to your students. This is what you do. All you need to do is click I've already added it to my library, but this button would normally say add to my library, and you'd click on it. Another way to get to your library is just by coming to the house, and your newest Nearpod lesson that you select will appear first on the list, the life cycle of a frog. If you hover over top of it, you have two choices. You can give the lesson as a live lesson or a student-paced lesson. For home instruction, you'll want to do student-paced. I believe in just about every situation. It gives them the flexibility of when to start the lesson and when to finish the lesson. So if you were to click on student paced, a code is provided for you. This is all the students need to get started. They just need this code. You will want to give them some brief instructions. For example, go to the Google Play Store and download the Nearpod app, or go to the Apple Store and download the Nearpod app, or here's the web address, the URL for accessing Nearpod on a laptop or desktop computer. That's as simple as you Googling it and coming up here and copying the student sign-in address. Okay, then the student just simply enters the code, and then they see the slides that you just created or the slides that you just saw. When they're finished and they submit it, you'll receive their answers in a report. So how do you review their work? How do you see the report? If you come over here to the same menu on the left, you'll see where it says reports. And you'll see various lessons that I've shared in the Media Center with students. Let me come to, see, Rise of the Automobile. We should have some fun reports here to take a look at. If we want to look at, well, how did we do when we gave this lesson in November? How did the students do? This is what a report might look like. You can choose to download a PDF view. The session view is all of your students grouped together in one report, your whole class, or you can do student view, which allows you to select just one particular student in the class to see how they did in particular. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what session view looks like. I'm going to open it up here so you can see what a report looks like when your students have finished. We get all of their quiz answers, their poll answers. If you notice here, the short answer responses, also the date and time they completed it. If I were to fast forward here, we have more short answer responses from students. Paired with the question, if you didn't notice. I'm not sure if we made it to a drawing activity, but I really love the drawing activity because it shows each of their little sketches. It's really fun to see. So absolutely a tidy, nice report, all the data you would want to see how your students are doing. Well, I hope I didn't take too long to share with you, and I hope you give Nearpod a try. Please let me know if you have any questions.